Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just get started. So if anybody else hops in, they'll be able to join us for the rest of the class. Like I said, just make sure you have enough room to move your body in all directions. And just know that if there's at any point through this that what I am cueing you is not working in your body, you can go ahead and skip it. And just focus on being present with your body and the different sensations we're gonna create here together over the next 30 minutes. So I'm trying to design this class to be for stress relief. So, because I know things are a little bit crazy right now. So if you're stuck at home, I hope this gives you an opportunity to get your body moving and kind of let go of some of your stress through your physical body. So I'm gonna go and head over to my mat. And if you have any questions or comments throughout, you can go into the little chat room and ask. And I'll do my best to answer those if I see them. Okay. Okay, so we are going to begin today just sitting cross-legged on our mat, sitting up tall, focusing on having a long spine, crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. And just place your hands on your knees and close your eyes or bring them to a soft gaze. And just start connecting with your breath, starting to take deep inhales through your nose and deep exhales through your nose. And we'll start off with a breathing technique that is inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 8. And this is a breath that really helps with stress reduction. So with your eyes closed, on your inhale, we'll count to 4. So breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on your exhale, you're gonna release on a count of 8 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on each inhale, you want to fill your lungs up as much as you can on the count of 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to slowly and evenly release them on your exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So take a few rounds of that at your own pace, and I'll give you about a minute to take a few rounds of that. And so just close your eyes, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 8. And if it feels good to open your mouth and exhale, you can, but you can choose to do it either through in and out through your nostril or in through your nostril and out through your mouth. And so focusing on your long, deep, even breathing will just start to help bring some ease and some calmness to your brain and to your body. So take about 1 more round of this breath here. And once you release from that, you can slowly begin to bring your hands out on either side of your mat. You can bring your eyes open again so that you can see me, obviously. And this is my cat, Rufus. He just hopped in here. I have another cat, Murray, so I apologize if they're crawling all over me, but I'll do my best to knock them out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So with our fingertips out on either side of our mat, spine stretching tall, crown of our head to the ceiling. On your inhale, you'll begin to raise your arms to the ceiling, reaching high, extending long through your spine. And on your exhale, release your arms back down to the mat. And then repeat that. Inhale, reaching high. And exhale, release. One more time here. Inhale, extending tall through your spine. And exhale, releasing your palms to the mat.
On your next inhale, you'll raise your hands to the ceiling, but we'll begin to come into a spinal twist. So we'll take our right hand and bring it to our left knee. Left hand comes behind our back. It's going to help prop us up tall so our spine stays straight. With each exhale, you can pull your right hand onto your left knee to twist deeper. And your gaze can either stay over the center of your chest or turn all the way back behind you to look past your left shoulder. With each inhale, you want to fill your lungs up fully. And then on your exhales, you can twist a little deeper, feeling a greater twist through your spine. And we'll hold here for one more breath. Inhaling completely. Exhaling for a deeper twist. Then on your inhale, we'll bring our arms back to the ceiling. And exhale, twist to the other side. Left hand comes to our right knee. Right hand comes behind our back. Again, prop yourself up a little taller and twist deeper on your exhales. Again, gaze can stay over the center or look back over your shoulder. So inhale, reach your crown a little taller. Exhale, twist deeper. And just remember to stay connected to your breath here. If you've noticed your mind starting to wander, just bring your attention back to your breath and the bodily sensations that you're creating here on your mat right now. One more full round here. Inhaling. Exhale, twist deeper. And then we'll inhale back to the center, extending our arms tall. Exhale, hands drop down to your knees. So we'll come onto our hands and our knees for the next part. My cat will like this next one. We're doing cat-cow. So we're going to come onto our hands and our knees, keeping our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. You can keep the tops of your feet flat, or you can curl your toes into the mat, whatever feels better for your body. Just spread your fingertips wide. Try to press through all 10 pads of your fingers. You don't want to just let all of your weight drop down onto your wrist. Really stay strong through your hands. Then your next exhale, press through the mat. Tuck your chin into your chest. Tailbone comes between your legs. And then on your inhale, you'll reverse and drop your belly. Gaze looks up, tailbone reaches towards. And then exhale, press through the mat again, rounding for our cat. And inhale for cow, dropping your belly. And really just exaggerating these movements through your spine. Take a few more rounds of that at your own pace, matching your own breath. And you can take a couple of breaths here to explore some organic movement in your body as well. If you want to wiggle your hips side to side, or do some circles with your shoulders over your wrists, maybe some full barrel rolls with your spine. The great part about this is that you're most likely in your living room by yourself, or if not, maybe with one other person that you know. So this is a perfect opportunity to kind of get silly and weird with your body and just do some movements that it's asking for right now. Like, try not to get stuck inside of an idea of what a yoga pose is supposed to look like right now. Just be in your house with your body and moving in ways that it's asking for right now. And then after you've taken a couple of breaths to kind of explore that spinal movement, you can settle back into a tabletop position, spreading our fingers wide, and we'll curl our toes to the mat. We'll prepare for our first downward dog by taking our hands and stepping them about one full hand print in front of our hands. Toes curl into the mat. Engage your core, and we're going to lift our hips to the ceiling, pressing our tailbone up and back. Shoulders are going to open back towards our knees, and you can keep a deep bend through your knees here for the first part. You can bend so deeply that your thighs are almost touching your stomach. And you can cycle your dog out here like you're riding a bike by bending one leg and keeping the other one straight. Just alternating through that movement. Just trying to notice how you're feeling through your legs. If your hamstrings are feeling really tight or your calves are feeling tight, maybe your glutes and hips. Just notice how your body compares to later in the class. I'm trying to remember the sensation you're feeling right now so you can compare it to how you feel at the end. Good. And then on your inhale, you can straighten both legs, pulling your heels down towards the mat. Again, our goal is not for our heels to touch. Your knees can stay bent if they need to. Then your exhale, slowly begin to walk your feet towards the front of your space. And you can bend your knees deeply for a forward fold, grabbing your opposite elbow, letting everything just hang in traction here. You can sway side to side, letting your entire neck and upper body just go into traction, letting gravity do all of the work. You can shake your head yes or no, do little neck circles. Again, just remembering you're in the privacy of your own home and you have the opportunity to kind of explore your body differently through these familiar shapes here. And this is Murray. Say hi, Murray. And then after one more breath, on your exhale, you can release your arms down. And then on your inhale, we'll bring our hands to our shins just below our kneecap for a halfway lift, really extending the crown of your head towards the room in front of you. And then on your exhale, rounding again, bending your knees deeply. And on your inhale, you can reverse swan dive to stand up. So you'll bend those knees slightly, bring your arms out to the side. Inhale, extending tall. And exhale, hands to center. Oh, I think my cat knocked the camera, so I'm gonna move it so you can see my whole body. Yoga with cats, always fun. So standing at the top of your mat, you'll keep your feet either toes together or hip width apart. Again, this really depends on your own body and how you're feeling right now. And just close your eyes again, check in with your breath, check in with your body. And take a minute to set an intention for the rest of your practice here this morning. What brought you here? What made you show up on your mat this morning? And we'll just take one big cleansing breath together to seal in our intention for the rest of our practice. Inhaling through our nose. Big open mouth exhale. And from here, we'll bring our hands together at the center of our chest. Inhaling, extending our arms tall towards the ceiling. Bringing our hands to touch. You can extend your spine a little bit taller, reaching higher towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, we're going to bend towards the right. So bend deeply through your side body, keeping that left foot planting down through the mat, feeling a stretch through your whole side body. And we'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Always remembering that you want to be able to breathe while you're holding these yoga poses. So if you get to a point where you feel like you can't breathe, you just lessen it and come out of it a little bit. 1 more breath here. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper. Then we'll inhale back to center. Exhale, we'll press through our right foot and lean over towards the left. Keeping that right shoulder opening towards the ceiling. And remembering not to collapse through our ribcage. We shouldn't just be like sagging over our side here. You want to stay tall and strong through your core, making sure that we can still take long, even breaths. 1 more breath here. Exhale a little deeper. And we'll inhale back to center. On your exhale, we'll open our elbows for our cactus arms. So bringing those elbows down and outside of our shoulders and shining our chest up towards the ceiling. And just one more breath here. And on your next inhale, extend tall to stand. And then exhale, forward fold. And so we'll be at the top of our mat here. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend those knees deeply until our hands plant onto the mat, and you can step or jump back to your push-up position. And on your exhale, we'll slowly lower all the way down to our belly for this first part. Bring the tops of your feet flat on the mat, toes, big toes touching, elbows hugging into our rib cage, hands towards the lower end of our chest. Exhale, releasing all of your air. And on your inhale, you'll press up for baby cobra, rolling your shoulders down and back and lifting through your chest. Exhale, release down, flat to the mat. And then inhale, press up for baby cobra. And exhale, release. One more time there. Inhale, press up baby cobra. And exhale, release. Through here, you can either keep your body tight as a plank or press up through your knees. And we're gonna push back up to our push-up position. And then we'll curl our toes and press back into our downward facing dog, just for a slightly modified sun A. You can cycle those legs out again if you need to. And then we'll inhale high into our toes and exhale, step or jump to the front of your space. Inhale, halfway lift here. Exhale, round. And inhale, reverse swan dive, extending tall. Exhale, hands to center. Excuse me, I just need to take a drink of water and fix the microphone because my cat knocked it over. And so from here, we'll be standing at the front of our space. And we're gonna do that same flow, just a little bit quicker this time. So we'll inhale, extend our arms high to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, round, bend your knees and plant and step or jump back to your plank. And this time we'll skip our baby cobras and you can add in your chaturanga to upward dog or chaturanga to cobra. So for chaturanga to upward dog, we'll shift our shoulders forward, exhale, slow lower for chaturanga, flip the tops of our feet, inhale through upward dog. To modify for cobra, you just drop those knees. To upgrade to upward dog, you engage your thighs and lift your knees off the mat while your hips are still pressing forward. Make sure you don't throw your head back. We don't want to have a huge arch through our neck. Just bring your gaze slightly upward. And then from here, you'll curl your toes into the mat. Exhale, press back for downward facing dog. Walk those knees out for one round. And then inhale high into your toes. And exhale, step or jump to the front of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, round. And inhale, reverse swan dive, extending tall. Exhale, hands at center. Good. And we'll add on a couple of poses here before, just for one round, before we chill out for the last 10 minutes and do some restorative poses. So we'll inhale, extending tall towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees and plant. Step or jump back to plank. And flow through to your downward dog, however you chose the other time. So chaturanga, upward dog or cobra for your inhale. And exhale, downward dog. This time we'll inhale our right leg high to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to your nose and step your right foot in between your hands. We're going to take our back foot and step it forward until our feet are flat and straighten your front leg. Back toes are going to turn out towards the side of your mat completely. And then we're going to cartwheel our arms up so we are standing in our triangle, or our prep for our triangle pose. So with your front toes facing towards the front of your mat, back toes facing the side of your mat, and your chest is facing towards the side of your mat as well, we'll reach our arms up, shoulder level, and on your exhale, you'll extend your right arm as far forward as you can, shifting through your hip. And then on your exhale, you press down either onto your shin, your ankle, the top of your foot, or your mat. If none of those work, or if you have a prop that you like to use, you can bring a prop on the inside of your shin, and that will help to make you a little bit more lifted. And so you can reach your left arm to the ceiling, trying to keep everything in line with each other. You should imagine that there are two pieces of drywall on either side of you, and the only thing that would be sticking out is your back toes. And just hold here, really feeling any sensations that are being created through your legs, maybe through your inner thigh, or maybe your back. Good, and keep extending tall through your chest. Again, just like in our standing side bend, we don't want to collapse through our rib cage. We want to stay tall and strong through this side. And just continue lengthening everything a little bit taller. And we'll hold here for one more breath. And then on your exhale, we'll plant our hands on either side of our foot. And inhale, step back to plank. You'll flow through to your downward facing dog. And you can always skip this part and just meet us in downward facing dog. So exhaling for your chaturanga, inhaling upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, extend your left leg high this time. Exhale, knee to your nose, stepping your left foot in between your hands. This time you can spin your toes out to the side, straighten that front leg, and come up for our triangle on the other side. And so I'm going to go ahead and just switch around directions so I'm still facing you. But you'll extend your hands, shoulder level again, and left fingertips are going to extend as far forward towards our left toes as we can, and then drop your hand wherever feels comfortable. And it might look a little bit different than your other side, and that's okay. Keep that right arm reaching up towards the ceiling, shoulders staying stacked on top of each other and staying in line with our hips. And just remember to stay focusing on your breath here. Your breath is a great tool to help bring you back to your body and back to your mat if you find that your mind has started to wander. And really press through both feet so you feel strong through the mat and through your legs. Then take one more breath here, extending a little bit taller. And then exhale, plant our hands, bend that knee, step back to our plank for our inhale, and flow through to your downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll lift high on our toes, and then exhale, you can just drop down to your knees here. We'll bring those big toes to touch, knees come wide, hips sit back towards our heels, and our forehead is going to come to the mat for our child's pose. And so when you are here in your child's pose, you just want to focus on pressing your hips back towards your heels, really lengthening through your spine. If it feels like this is too much for your shoulders, or if you maybe just want a little bit of a different sensation, you can bring your knees together and you can reach your hands back behind you for more of an embryo pose. Again, just really listening to your body and what it is asking for right now. And on your next inhale, we'll come onto our fingertips. And we'll exhale, begin walking those fingertips out towards the right side of your mat. And you can bring your hands flat, placing your left hand on top of your right. And that might make the sensation a little bit deeper through your left armpit and side body. And just remember to keep your head relaxed. I'm just keeping my head up here so I can continue talking to you. But you want to keep your forehead down towards the mat. Take one more breath here, inhaling. And exhale, slowly walk over to the left. And again, you can do the same thing here. Place your right hand on top of your left so you can get a little bit of a deeper stretch through your right side body and armpit. And then take one more breath here, inhaling deeply. And exhale, slowly begin to walk back to the center. Take 3 more breaths here in your child's pose. And after your next exhale, you can slowly begin to walk your hands back to your knees and come back into a tabletop position. And so we have about 5 minutes left, and I'm not going to do Shavasana with this because I figured I'll just let you guys finish in Shavasana and do your own, not rob you guys of the 30 minutes with some Shavasana, because if you guys are at home, you can just do it at home yourself. So we will finish out with 1 or 2 more poses, depending on how much time we have. But our next one is going to be pigeon pose. So for our pigeon pose, you start in your tabletop position, and you'll slide your right knee up to your right wrist. Your right foot wants to go up and over towards your left wrist. It doesn't have to meet your left wrist. It just wants to be towards it. So it can be on an angle. And then your left leg is going to slide back behind you. Blocks are a great prop here too. You can take a block and put it under your hip if you need to, or you can bring it in front of you to help bring it a little bit of support for yourself. So you can bring your elbows down onto there and just play with the way that your hips are in this pose. You can push your right hip back or pull your right hip forward to just kind of change the sensation that you're feeling a little bit, and just work with what your body is feeling. Again, try not to get stuck in this idea of what your yoga pose is supposed to look like. And then the great part about these postures as well is you can hold them for a really long time when we're not doing a short timed video like this. So you can take these poses and this knowledge with you to do these poses at any point and hold them for a longer, more restorative period. And then just take about 3 more breaths here. You can always melt fully into sleeping pigeon by extending your arms out in front of you. And then your next exhale, slowly begin to walk those hands back underneath your shoulders. Curl your left toes, walk your knee forward, and right leg comes out. You can do a couple of hip circles here if you need to, and then we'll do the other side. So we'll slide our left wrist or left knee up to our left wrist. Left foot walks towards our right wrist. Right leg slides back behind us. And then you can stay here with your chest up to get a little bit of an extra back bend, or just melt forward. Blocks can also be used as pillows. And so just find your own way to get comfortable in this pose. If you don't have blocks or any of the actual yoga props at home, there's plenty of stuff around your house that you can use. You can use blocks or blocks. You can use books or little boxes, or just anything that might resemble this shape. Or you can use pillows. There's really endless options for you. So just try and make yourself comfortable. And then take about 3 more breaths here. Really settling into the posture,
Releasing any last tension that you might be feeling. And then slowly begin to press back up onto your hands. You can curl your right toes, knee comes forward, left leg comes out. Again, you can do some hip circles here if you need to. And then after that, I would request that everybody go onto their back for their final Shavasana. I unfortunately only have a couple of minutes left because I am limited to a 40-minute time limit on our group. So I have to go ahead and end the session now, but this might be too loud now. Okay. I hear myself talking, so I apologize if that audio got really weird there for a second. This is my first time doing this, and I thank you guys so much for coming out and trying this out with me. I'm going to be doing one of these free 30-minute classes every day this week. And so if you got the email for today, you'll get the email for the password for the rest of the week. And each class will be a little bit different, but it's all just kind of focused on the idea that I want everybody that's stuck inside of their house to have the opportunity and the chance to just get their body moving in a mindful way. So I hope that this gave you that opportunity today. And if you enjoyed it, you can share it with your friends and tell them to sign up so they can have access for the next classes. And I thank you so much for growing and learning with me, because this is my first time doing this. So I'm hoping that as we go, I will progress and things will be smoother and easier. And I'll watch the recording afterwards too to see if there's any areas that we can improve to make this a better experience for everyone. So if you have any feedback, definitely let me know, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's class is going to be in the afternoon. I haven't decided about probably 5 or 6, but I will send that email out tomorrow morning with the class time. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope I can see you again this week. Namaste, friends.